There we go. Is it loading now? Game capture? Dreambound? Dreambound? OBS. 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 There you go. Okay, how's the game capture size? It's just right, actually. Okay. Okay, I'll open this where we left off. But however, before I do anything, I'm gonna go to be right back, have a bio break, and be right back. Put your ass away. Oh my god. That better be a loincloth. Okay, that is a loincloth. Whew. Thought he had his dick out and everything. Shut up. I'm not gonna deal with your... Shut up. Oh my god, that gave me goosebumps everywhere in my fucking body. Fuck that. Fuck that. Shut up, baby. We stop slam. Hello, handsome. You're not gonna hurt me, right? Right. I hate it. What? Fuck it. Fuck it, you know what? Confront your fears. Perfect smile. Bro had the 2 fingers up at his mouth. Bro was ready to have a snack, if you know what I mean.
I wanna eat you a cookie.
Ugh, but Soulless, hello. I don't want to fix him. I want him to ruin me. We're gonna be best friends.
Let's work together.
Thank you for being my friend. Even if it wasn't by choice. Not great. What is this? I think I see something stuck inside the hole. Stick your dick in it. Okay, I guess I gotta find something. Yeah.
Where the fucking where is it? Where the is it? I swear to God.
Something I can stick in the hole.
You laughing, girl? You trying to laugh?
That's apparently not my dick.
This funny?
Okay.
Let me show you some fucking.
You can't even get like 2 fingers in there.
Because I love it in here. I fucking love it!
What the hell did I just walk into?
Role play. I'm the CEO, you're the secretary. Now get me a coffee.
Oh, God.
The mug is right there. I already it.
Slurp up my milky coffee. Okay, anyway. Oh, that explains why I haven't heard of it then. Kodama is a little unusual too, isn't it? Kodama. Isn't Dama ball? And then Ko would be like child? A child's ball? Children's balls? What? This is one of the romance options, by the way. So we get really old. I like them wrinkly. Nope, that's a foot. Just nom a little bit on foot. Delicious. Whoa, what was that? What was that? What was that? What was that? Who's that? Nope, 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 nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. I'm here, something or other. Ooh, stairs. Get me the fuck out of here. Yes. Oh my god. I've never been so scared of an old lady in my life. How do I get inside you? I can't find the hole. Well, I'll just keep going. Seems like shit happens if I just keep going. Shit happens. I'm surrounded by toilets. Warm baths, plenty of sleep, moderate carnal copulation, and exposure to soothing music? We gotta fuck? Okay. Whatever you say. I gotta drink that wine, fuck, and then take some warm baths. Alright. Okay. Collect sheets. Oh, gross. Why'd you pick it up by the piss end? Just getting a good whiff of that. Ah! Holy shit! So no head? I'm gonna be fucking scared out of my fucking mind, okay? At least I'm gonna do it with good posture. Yeah, I need to like be nice and loose and relaxed so that when I... You timed that so well when I said loose. Especially with the motion blur. This evil fuck... Oh. It was a fucking box. So, we're really not gonna pick this up, huh? What if I picked up the finger and shoved that into the last hole? Huh? Shove the finger in the hole.
Need to start.
Oh, I immediately died. Wow, this is lagging. Slow-mo. The slowest money shot you'll ever see. This is actually funnier. God, I kind of wish I did that on purpose. NANI? Wait, proposed assignment? Hold on. What did that say? Oh, propose a planned assignment. I just want to propose to him. Propose the shit out of this guy. Simon! Hey, Simon. Give me your hand. What the fuck was that sound? Huh? Oh my god, oh my fucking god. I'm going to shit myself. No, please. Does she like see me through the glass and then break it? Don't shit in the closet. I might have to. I don't think I'll ever be able to leave the closet, so I'm just gonna shit in that little corner over there and call it good. And we're back. Oakley dokley. Last we left off, we're in a past scene, and this little fucker has just approached us. I finally had Kaine and Noah by themselves when they were younger, and this little shit comes on over. I forgot what his name was. Luka, I think, maybe? Either way, he looks adorable, but he's actually evil. Noah, a boy, a freshman based on the look of him, given how baby-faced he was, darted forwards to greet Noah, smiling broadly as he did. The kid was short enough that he could have been mistaken for a middle school student, but his uniform made it apparent he was one of their peers. Kaine didn't hang around with any of his underclassmen, but he thought he recognized him. Why does he look so familiar? Have we talked before? Wait. Isn't that... It is. Oh, and I guess your friend's here too. Hee hee. Silly me for forgetting about him. What's your name again? Kale? Hey. Hey, bro, you wanna throw? You wanna throw hands? Bring it on. Bring it on. Kaine. Kaine, that's right. I'm so sorry for forgetting. Hee hee. I wanna kill this kid. I've always been awful with names. You've been awful, period. Just stop the sentence right there. I'm such a dummy. You're a lot of things. I'm really lucky I have such a kind, dependable senior like Noah here to help me out. Yeah. Exactly. Point the gun. Take the shot, Ace. Take the shot. He's only been in the art club for a day, but he's been really useful already. Ah, that's right. This is the kid I met the other day when I went into town with Noah. And he's the same kid who bumped into Noah in the hallway. I must have forgotten with all that shit about August to worry about. I don't hide the bods, I make them. Make this bod, for sure. I want to see him dead and buried. Like, now. I think his name's Luka? Oh, I was right. Noah hung back at this, abashed, and glanced at his feet. I mean, thanks, but I don't think I've really done anything. Oh, but you have! Don't undersell yourself. I get the feeling my grades will get a lot better with you around to coach me, hee hee. Your advice has been invaluable already. I don't know how to thank you, really. Shut the fuck up. This little shit. I'm gonna send all my will-o-wisps to go burn his ass. But that's enough about me. Did your friend have a good birthday? Noah looked at the ground. Kaine did not fail to see the way Noah's eyes darkened, as though filled with storm clouds. His expression, meanwhile, was taut and tense, like a man on the edge. That's funny. He tends to reserve that face for when he's talking about his parents. Red flag number 369. Or about Asher. Red flag 340. No, 370. This Luka's pretty exhausting, sure, but he doesn't seem malicious. Yet. That incident in the hallway excluded. Did something happen? Yeah, Noah eventually replied, after a pause. I think he enjoyed it. And the present you got him? Did he enjoy that too? Yeah, it went down pretty well. Yay! A beaming Luka clapped his hands together. I'm so happy for you. I fucking hate him. Just by the way he talks, I hate him. Ugh. He just needs like little fucking a colon and a parentheses smiley face at the end of every sentence just to like really drive it home. I know you spent a really long time picking that gift out. It would have been heartbreaking if it was a dud. I know you care a lot about what your friend thinks, hee hee. The The emphasis on friend. Ooh, I hate him. I hate him. Have you ever had a character who I've interacted with so little in a story that I've hated so immediately? Luka giggled, and once again, Noah winced. You'll have to tell me all about it later. I'm dying to know what happened. Maybe we should hang out after school sometime. How about not? Noah responded with a non-response, which is to say, he was dead silence. Just meeting this character and already have major ick. That's the correct response, yes. Oy oy oy. Kaine, not failing to note Noah's discomfort, frowned. I should probably step in. Sorry, but we've got to go, or we'll be late for class. We're cutting it pretty close already. You should head in too. I wouldn't want you to get in trouble. So, you're looking out for me now? Wow, you're so nice. I'm so lucky to be surrounded by so many kind people. Fuck off. Luka grinned. I wouldn't want to make one of my seniors worry, so I'll be a good boy and head off to class. How about you be a good boy and head off a cliff? Huh? I'll see you around, Noah. Bye-bye. How dare he say goodbye like I do at the end of my streams? How dare he? Goddamn automod, let that through. Let that through. How about you go ahead and fuck off and get isekai somewhere? No, because then he'll be made into a protagonist and have a good story. I'd rather he just, you know, fall off a cliff and then that's the end. Fade to black. Roll the credits. Luka waved theatrically, then headed off. Kaine watched his departing back for a few moments, frowning, before he took Noah's arm. Come on, let's head off ourselves. Kaine guided Noah into the school building, and Noah, for once, didn't try to pull him away. I even had to go through a thing to be sure I wanted descended, haha. He looked spook after that incident with Luka, so much so there was something troubling about it. Seriously, what's Luka's deal? Why is he acting so overly familiar anyway? Noah only joined the art club the other day. They barely know one another. Maybe that kid's just friendly? Nah. Nah, he'd be a character that gets cut nonetheless. Oh, there you go. I'm okay with that. Gets isekai'd, wakes up. I don't know, like in a church with a bunch of people saying, oh, the chosen one has arrived. Only immediately the building collapses and kills them all. And then it's the end. But Noah wasn't being friendly in return. Kaine and Noah entered the classroom a couple of minutes before the bell rang. Noah took a seat at his desk and Kaine followed, his brow creased with concern. So, what was that about? What was what about? That kid, you froze up when you saw him, like he was a lion and you were a gazelle. I mean, he's so tiny it was almost comical, but did something happen? Did he do something? Once again, Noah fell silent. He looked down at his desk, his expression imperceptible. He seemed to be pondering something, thinking carefully. Knowing Noah, if he does have a problem, he won't want to bother me with it. It's nothing major, it's just art stuff. Art stuff? Noah nodded. It wasn't the most convincing reply, but if he doesn't want to talk, I shouldn't force him. He already opened up to me earlier about August after all. It'd be unfair to expect even more emotional confessions from him. Also, I'm remembering I should get my guide up. I don't want to fuck this up with Kaine. And get my browser up there. There we go. And, Dreambound, there it is. Yeah, definitely just art stuff. I'm thinking one of two things. Either Luka is actually really into art, but he saw Noah's talent and is immediately, like, clinging to him in order to, like, fuck with him and fuck him up. Because he doesn't want a better artist than him. To, I don't know, be in his class or to be within his presence? I don't know. Or he's just an asshole in general and, like, kind of sussed out that Noah was super gay for August and is, like, fucking with him for that reason. Okay, I got my guide up. Good to go. Confessions from him. I don't want to burn him out on all this talking about his feelings shit. Not when he does it so sparingly. But I do wish he'd confide in me more. Alright, I get it. I'll let the subject drop for now, but you would tell me, wouldn't you, if something was wrong? I won't be able to help out otherwise. Well, of course I'd tell you. That should be a given. Stop fussing over me. You really are the mom friend. Alright. Kaine frowned, feeling indeed rather like a mother must after her child had waved aside an invitation to help. Is this how my own mother felt when I told her I was old enough to start tying my own shoelaces? The MC is Noah, the kind of like dark-haired, dark brown-haired dude with really pale skin who I keep talking to. I'm right now, seeing things from Kaine's perspective, who's one of the love interests, the one I'm going for. It kind of stings. Huh. Kaine smiled to himself as he took a seat at his own desk. August was right about me. I really am a mother hen. Speaking of August, the bespectacled blonde had been in the classroom when Noah and Kaine arrived. He had been fiddling around on his phone, but he set it to one side to share a not-so-covert glance with Noah. Yeah, if you hadn't been following the past couple episodes, yeah, that would make sense. Because we did switch to Kaine's POV. I think when we, like, really locked in on Kaine's route, we got some, like, backstory on him, and then all of a sudden I got a lot of, like, Kaine POV stuff, and I'm like, ooh, hello. This is interesting. Noah returned it, and a telltale blush spread across his cheeks. Was he thinking about the kiss they'd shared last night? That must have been it. It would definitely explain Noah's obvious lack of cool, but he's being so obvious about this. If he doesn't want people to figure out what's going on, he should stop turning beet red whenever he sees August. The whole class is going to figure out what's up before the end of the day if he can't keep his act together. Kaine looked at his fingers, which were linked together on his desk. Then he sighed. Not that I'm much better, I guess, staring at Noah like I am. Ooh, Kaine is becoming self-aware. I think I might be even more transparent. I guess it's a good thing Noah only has eyes for August, otherwise he would have figured me out in a second. Alright, class, settle down. Kaine's thoughts were interrupted by the opening of the door, then Miss Rose's girlish voice. It's time to take the register. Now, let me see. Kaine sat up a little straighter in his chair, his eyes transfixed to the front of the classroom. He knew it would be for the best if he didn't think about Noah. Oh, Kaine! Kaine! My heart is always aching for this boy. But Kaine had to wonder, as Miss Rose made her way through the register, whether this was possible. Try though he might, he simply couldn't get Noah from his head. Oh, Kaine. Kaine. Why must you kill me like this? Noah left the classroom when the lunch bell rang, August following not long after. Kaine thought briefly about chasing after them, but he soon discarded the idea. What's the point? It's obvious they have a lot to talk about. God, my heart is actually hurting. Ugh. Ugh, God. Kaine! I don't want to be the third wheel. I'd only get in the way if I chase them down. Not that I even need to. I have plenty of friends I can have lunch with. Sure, I'm not as close to any of them as I am with Noah, but that's fine. I know people. I'm not lonely. Kaine! This was Kaine's thought process as he sought out a couple of his friends. Kaine was relatively popular, probably because of his good manners, his good grades, and his good looks, and he had ingratiated himself with almost everyone in the classroom. My heart, for fucking sure. For fucking sure. Ugh, Kaine kills me. That's why I'm determined to get him his man. Kaine is going to know love. Even if I have to, like, fucking drag him kicking and screaming into the male lead spotlight. Oh, God. The small group was more than happy to welcome Kaine into their fold. Kaine pulled up a chair by their desk and sat down. Then he pulled his lunchbox from his bag and began to eat. As he ate, Kaine tried not to think about Noah and August and what they might have done last night, what they might be doing now. But he was largely unsuccessful in this. We will give this man the lovin's. You are correct. You are correct. Despite his best efforts, he couldn't help but wonder, what are they doing right now? Maybe they're having some big emotional heart-to-heart. If they really did kiss last night, there's got to be some emotional fallout they need to work through. Are they really a couple now? If they start dating, will I still be able to spend time with them? I know they never cut me out, not deliberately, but they'll be busy with one another. Will they be too busy to spend time with me anymore? Oh, this is killing me. This is killing me, especially since I've been the third wheel friend, even though I didn't, like, have romantic feelings for my friend. The moment they got a girlfriend, they just fucked out of my life, and I didn't hear from them, literally, from, like, texts or Facebook messages, nothing, for, like, over 3 years? Before they eventually, like, said anything to me? And I'm like, hi? Jesus Christ. Ugh, this hurts. It hurts. Melancholy thoughts swirled through Kaine's head, which undercut the taste of his food. He'd prepared himself an avocado and spinach salad, but he could barely taste it. Perhaps I should have used more dressing. Kaine pondered this, crunching leaves morosely, when... Hey, you're just the guy I wanted to see. Oh, fuck off. It's Kale, right? I'm gonna stab you... everywhere. Everywhere. No, Kaine. Huh? Kaine turned his head, looking for the source of that cheeky bleeding, like a goat. And it didn't take him long to locate it. A sandy-haired boy was standing by the door, his lips curved into a bright smile. Kaine recognized him. It was the same boy he'd met earlier outside the school. What was his name again? Luka. Unfortunately, I remember. Luka? That's right. I'm so glad you remembered me. Wow. Fuck. Ah. Fuck off. Fuck off. It was hard not to. You made quite the impression. Kaine hadn't quite meant that as a compliment, but Luka still giggled. Why, thank you. You're very sweet. I think I'm being more sour lately, but whatever. What are you doing here? You're an underclassman, right? There's no reason for you to come to this classroom. You're right, yeah, but like I said, I was looking for you. You were? Mm-hmm. You see, there's actually something I wanted to talk to you about. Huh? Who's this kid? Do you know this guy, Kaine? In passing, I guess. We've run into each other a couple of times. Oh, you jokester. Luka giggled again while nudging Kaine in the side, an overly familiar gesture which made Kaine's shoulders stiffen. Bro, I don't know you, don't touch me. Who gave you the right to touch me like that? Exactly! Fucking bite his arm off, Kaine. No one will convict you. Kaine and I are both friends with Noah. I've gotten really, really close to him ever since he joined the art club. What, so all of 2 days ago? Just how close can you be anyway? I know Romeo and Juliet takes place over 3 days, but we all know that ended in misery. You think this kid would chill a little if he doesn't want to wind up getting himself into trouble? That's what I wanted to talk to you about, actually. About Noah? That's right. I thought you might want to know, as his friend, that he's been settling, that he's been settling into the art club nicely. He's really, really talented. He's actually been helping me out a lot. If it wasn't for him, I'd be in a pretty tough spot. I really owe him one. Is that so? Is that all he wanted to say? Surely that can't be it. Well, good for him. I'm glad he's doing well. I mean, he's hardworking, so I'm not surprised he's doing well. He is, yes. He might seem a little gloomy, but he's a really nice, kind guy when you get him to open up. We're both friends now, me and him. And I'll bet everybody else in the art club will fall in love with him too once he starts talking to them a bit more. He's really cool. But it must be kind of hard for you. Oh, Luka, you're trying to start shit. I can see through your bullshit. I see through it. Yeah, best friends where? Fucking, it's been 2 days. Hard for me? What are you talking about? Well, aren't you supposed to be Noah's best friend? Here we go. He's trying to... Yeah, look at that fucking smarmy smirk. Look at his smirk. Look at it. Look at it. You're trying to just, like, force a wedge between us. You're trying to start shit. You fucking stinker. You little shit. I think I'd be kind of jealous if I were you. Now he's making so many new friends. Oh yeah, so many new friends. Since he'll be busy with art club from now on, he won't have as much time to spend with you. And since me and him are getting on so well, I'd like to hang out with him a bunch. That'll really cut into your alone time with him, though. It's such a shame. Humph. Kaine cleared his throat noisily and swiveled about his seat, turning his back on the ever-energetic Luka. Sorry, but I think you've got the wrong idea about me. Do you really think so? I'm not so sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm not some jealous boyfriend. I'm not going to throw a fit because Noah's made a few new friends. In fact, I was always telling him I'd like it if he did make some new friends. I don't want him being too reliant on me, you know? Oh, is that it? Luka smiled, not entirely pleasantly. That's very altruistic of you. You're so selfless. I don't know if I'd like it myself if one of my favorite people got so busy with other people they couldn't spare time for me anymore. Boo, it's like my sister. We used to be so close, and now she won't even look at me. How sad. He has a sister? I hadn't known. Not that I care. How is this relevant? Well, that's different. She's your sister. Noah and I are just friends. We're not family, so I don't need to keep an eye on him. I don't think he'd like it if I did that anyway. It'd make him uncomfortable. Just like talking about him behind his back would. Now, if that's everything, would you mind moving along? I'm trying to eat lunch here. Oh yes, of course, of course. I don't want to interrupt anything. I just wanted to offer my sympathy. My bad. Kaine glanced back at Luka flatly. He had half a mind to tell the kid where to go, but Luka hadn't, he reminded himself, said anything inappropriate. Lashing out would only succeed in making him look like a bad guy. I guess I've got to suck this up. I can't say I like Luka very much, though. Something about him makes me feel uneasy. Yeah? And why do you think I need someone to sympathize with me, huh? Well, I was just thinking. I'm a pretty perceptive guy, so I've noticed a thing or two about you and Noah. Fuck off! I can tell that you like him a lot. You must be really, really good friends, but I'm guessing it must be hard. Noah's not just popular in art club, he also spends a lot of time with that blonde boy, the one with the girly name. I'm going to kill this boy. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. Hold me back or I'm going to commit murder. April, wasn't it? You mean August? That's right, August. They spend so much time together, even the kids in my class have started to talk about it. August was kind of a big deal when he transferred in. A lot of girls thought he was cute, but they all lost interest when they saw he was always hanging around Noah. I do really feel bad for you. I don't need anybody to feel bad for me. Fuck off, Luka. Fuck off. There's a window right there in the classroom. Go jump out of it. Fuck off. Isn't it tough being the third wheel in your own friendship? I mean, you were friends with Noah first. He's a nice guy, but I think he's being pretty selfish. It's like he hasn't spared you so much as a single thought. Tch. Fucking Kaine, for the love of God, please, tear into this man. Luka's words might have been light, just like meringue, but there was a mocking undercurrent to it all which made Kaine stiffen. Is he making fun of me? This brat? What the hell does he know about my relationship with Noah anyway? He's only known Noah for a couple of days, and he barely knows me at all. Where does he get off? What are you talking about? You have to ask? Luka smiled deviously. I think it's been pretty upfront, or I think I've been pretty upfront. But there's a limit to how much I want to say, you know, in front of your friends. Luka glanced at the trio of boys who had been sitting about the desk, boys who had been listening in, not so surreptitiously, to everything Luka had been saying. I still have a bit more I want to say, actually, about this sorry situation. But it's a bit of a delicate subject. I don't know if it'd be tactful blurting out everything here. Bro, this isn't even like your situation. Get the fuck out of here. You don't know shit. Oh, I'm getting mad. I'm getting so mad. Oh God. Do you want to come with me? I want to talk about something pretty serious. Kaine's mistrust in Luka had yet to waver, but that word stuck in his mind. Serious. Kaine didn't want it, or didn't know what it was Luka wanted to talk about, but if it's about Noah and it's serious, maybe I should hear him out. I have a few doubts, but perhaps he's capable of spewing out more than drivel after all. Sure thing, I'll lead the way. Right. Luka smiled at Kaine brightly. His grin was so sunny, it seemed almost unthinkable that he could be up to no good. He looks just like a puppy, so eager to please. But I get the feeling there's a little more to him than that. What's his game? Kaine got to his feet after offering a few brief apologies to his friends, then followed Luka out of the classroom. Luka led him into a quiet hallway, which was deserted. Once there, Luka then glanced at him, perhaps to check that the coast was clear. He's being pretty thorough about this. When Luka was certain that there was nobody loitering about who might overhear them, he then looked back at Kaine. He smiled, his expression easygoing as per usual, and said, "So Kaine, I can call you Kaine, right?" "Kaine is fine, that's my name." "Good. Why, it feels like we're friends already, hee. We are not. We are not." "Yeah, I don't know if we're close enough for that just yet." "You're getting ahead of yourself." "Oh, am I? I'm sorry." "I have a habit of doing that. Rose and me always tells me I come on too strong with people." "Yeah, no fucking shit." "I can't help it though, I just want to get along with everybody. I just love people so much." "Yeah, sure you do. That's why you're trying to like stir the shit pot with Noah and me. Dear fucking God." "Sure thing, Mother Teresa. What are you supposed to be, some kind of saint?" "I'd like it if we could be friends in time. I think you seem like a pretty nice guy, even if you don't think very much about me. Which is why I thought I should tell you something." "Oh yeah? What?" "It's about your friend Noah, or to be precise, the way you look at him." "Noah? What's he talking about?" "Yeah. I don't know if you're aware, Kaine, but if you were, you probably wouldn't be doing it in the first place. Hee. I'm gonna oh, the things I'm gonna do to this fucking child. It's gonna start with acid, and it's gonna end with being like 300 meters under the ocean. I've seen the way you look at Noah, though. I've only seen the two of you together a couple times, but it really is obvious. You're always staring at him, just like a lovesick puppy. Do you have a crush on him?" Kaine gasped. The question came out of the blue. He hadn't expected it at all. His closest friend, the ones who weren't Noah and August, that was, hadn't even figured out how he felt about Noah. "No, don't blush, Kaine. Don't blush. Don't give it away. Don't give it away to this fucking psychopath. You're so cute, though. How had Luka managed it? He only known him for a couple of days. Kaine stared at Luka, too shocked to speak. He gawped? Not at all intelligently, while Luka smirked. Thermocline with anchor? Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm taking notes. Heh, I guess that just about confirms it. I wasn't actually sure if you had a thing for him or not, but you're making it pretty darn obvious now, aren't you? I had no idea you could blush so much, a big guy like you. Aw, it's kinda cute. Hasn't Noah ever seen this side of you? What are you talking about? Kaine, please don't let this fucker, like, get ya. I'm asking, silly, if he knows. Did you tell him how you felt about him? No, Kaine responded as if on autopilot, but his sense eventually kicked in. Shit. How had he managed to let that slide? He'd been keeping his feelings for Noah a secret for years, ever since the pair of them were in middle school. Noah had never realized how he felt, and Kaine had never wanted to tell him. The thought had crossed his mind, of course, once or twice. But the moment Kaine considered it, he discarded it. He couldn't confess to Noah. Noah hadn't shown any sign of being interested in him. A botched confession might very well spoil their long-standing friendship. Kaine hadn't wanted that, not when he and Noah were so close. Noah was the best friend. Oh yeah, was the best friend he had. If Noah turned against him, Kaine didn't even want to think about what might happen if Noah turned against him. He didn't see why Luka wanted to talk about this though. What's it to you? Whatever I feel or don't feel has nothing to do with you. We hardly know one another, and my feelings shouldn't matter. They don't matter to me, certainly. I'm a pretty open-minded guy, believe it or not, and I think people should be able to like whoever they want. Then why the fuck are you trying to out him, Maybe fuck off. You fake ally? I think your feelings for Noah are pretty cute, actually. But I'm sure it'll matter to him if he finds out about this. Don't you think he'd be freaked out? I bet he would. Now, saying that might be kind of funny, I'd like to see Noah getting all embarrassed. Hee. Huh? Kaine stared at Luka, his eyes widening with surprise. What are you talking about? You can't tell? I'm surprised. I thought you were supposed to be smart, Kaine. I know you're always at the top of your year. You're a clever guy. But I guess you're not so clever when it comes to interpersonal relationships. You're so clueless. It's kind of adorable, really. Hey. Who's clueless, you little shit? I'm not a fan of violence, but if you keep talking to me like this, I'll bash your stupid smug face in. I swear I will. Please. Please do it, Kaine. I am begging you. But, oh well, let's make this quick. I can spell things out for you if you really need me to hold your hand. Luka laughed, not at all pleasantly. The sound was noxious, his expression even more so. You're friends with Noah, Kaine, or at least you're supposed to be. That's what Noah thinks. You've known one another for, what, 10 years? And what does this have anything to fucking do with you? This has nothing to do with you. Why are you inserting yourself into this situation? Fuck off. It's more like 13. 13, huh? Luka whistled. That's impressive, though I have heard that that number 13's an unlucky one. Hee. Stop with the hee-hee-tee-hees. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, this game has a way of, like, bringing up characters that I just want to, like, tear apart piece by piece. I want to shred them like rotisserie chicken. Oh god. Oh god. It'd be rotten if anything happened between you and Noah when you're such a good friend, or such good friends. But I don't know if Noah would appreciate it if he found out that all this time you've been hanging out with him because you want a piece of him. Wouldn't that completely alter his perception of you? I'm sure it'd alter your friendship at the very least. He'd be so surprised. He might even be hurt. Luka's eyes narrowed. Or disgusted. Disgusted? Kaine stared at Luka, feeling rather more rattled than he would like to be. He wanted to refute Luka's words, but the ability to speak had momentarily failed him. Anything he could think to say was stuck inside his throat. I don't think he'd be disgusted, but it'd definitely make things awkward. Would he still want to hang out with me? If you knew how much I liked him, then do you think he'd still want to be your friend, knowing you've been waiting for a chance to jump him? Please, for the love of God, Kaine. Just kill this kid. Just kill him. There's a window right to your left. Just grab him by the collar and throw him outside. Luka's lips curved into an unpleasant smirk. I know I wouldn't. In fact, I'd want to keep the hell away from you. It'd be all sorts of uncomfortable. But who knows, maybe Noah's more easygoing than I am. But I think that would be so hard considering how easygoing and nice I am. Yeah, sure, nice. Yeah, fuck off. Do you want to find out? What? You wouldn't tell him about this, would you? Well, that depends. I'm a nice guy, so I'd really rather not ruin your beautiful friendship. 13 years is a long time. Is he gonna threaten Kaine? I swear to fucking God. But I'm not so very nice. I'd be willing to keep quiet without any sort of compensation. He is threatening me. He's blackmailing me. Or he's blackmailing Kaine. I'm livid. I'm actually fucking livid right now. Huh. Compensation? That's right. It's how this world works. It's all give and take. I do you a favor and you do me one in return. You should know all about that. I mean, your father is a lawyer, right? I bet he's defended all sorts of crooks in the past, all for money. People will do all sorts of amoral things if there's something in it for them. I'm not going to do anything illegal for you if that's what you're after. You can fuck off with that. Oh no, you misunderstand. It's not like I'm asking you to kill anyone for me. Though, that would be pretty funny, huh? I can almost imagine you as a killer. You have that look in your eyes. Says the fucking psychopath. Luka giggled. No, what I want is much more manageable. You're smart, right? At least you're supposed to be. Fuck off with this kid. Fuck off with this kid. Your grades are so good, you're pretty famous. You excel in every subject, or single subject, and you make it look easy. It must be nice, being naturally talented. I think I know what the fuck he did to Noah. He's probably somehow wrapped Noah into some threatened situation to make him do his, like, art club homework or whatever. And now he's getting getting Kaine to, I don't know, do his other schoolwork so that he passes? Oh my god, But some of us aren't that fortunate. I've been working plenty hard enough myself, but it still isn't enough, not for my mother. She keeps getting on and on about my grades. It's a huge drag, if I'm being honest, especially when I have been putting the work in. What if I went to your mother and told her the shit that you're trying to put us through? Huh? What if I did that? She doesn't see that, though. She doesn't care about the process. She only cares about the results. So, could you find it in your heart to help me out? Huh. This request seems unexpectedly reasonable coming from a slimy guy like him. I don't know, you could have just asked me like a normal human being, hey, could you help me study? But instead, he's probably like, hey, do my work for me. Is there a catch to this? I doubt things could be this simple, but... Do you want me to tutor you? Is that it? Oh, no. Luka waved one hand dismissively, his smug smile unwavering. You misunderstand. I'm not interested in that. It'd be way too much effort. Yeah. He just wants us to fucking do his work for him. I think it'd be easier if you just did my homework for me. Yep. Would you mind too much, Kaine? I'm in the year below you, so it should be simple. I'll bet you can refactor all of my boring old equations with your eyes shut. You... Kaine scowled. I should have known. Of course he'd opt for the easy way out. This kid. He looks so innocent, but he's gotta be the most shameless, self-absorbed little fucker I've ever met. You are a fucking asshole. Believe me, you're not the first person to say that to me. Luka grinned unpleasantly. While we're on the subject of how awful I am, though, your parents are pretty wealthy, aren't they? Well, they've gotta be, since your daddy's a big-shot lawyer and all. Yes. All those symbols? Yes, I agree. I'll bet you have a load of cash to spare. My family's pretty wealthy too, as it happens. Good for you. Oh, it's not that good for me. My mom's in charge of my allowance, and she's a total tightwad. She's so strict, I can never afford anything I want. You wouldn't mind lending me some cash, would you? I would be so appreciative. I'll bet you have so much of it, you won't even miss it. So, you're extorting me for money now? Is that how it is? Oh no, not at all, I wouldn't say that. Extorting is such an ugly word, and you're such an ugly little piece of shit. So, you know, it's perfect for you. I'm asking you for a favor is all. Because we're friends now, we are not. Text me when this part is over. Oh my god, yeah. I have to get through it because fucking the story, but god damn. Oh my god. Are we friends now? I think so. I mean, it'd definitely be in your best interest if you said yes. Why you? Kaine had been trying to suppress his temper, but these smugly self-satisfied remarks finally tipped him over the edge. He couldn't continue to stand there playing nice with Luka, not when Luka was taking advantage of him so brazenly. Where the hell did he get off anyway? If he thinks I'm just going to lie down and take all this shit, then he has another thing coming. Oh, I'll show you friendly, alright. This is the best favor I can think of doing for you, in fact. Kaine stalked forward, then grabbed hold of the front of Luka's shirt. He twisted the fabric in his hand, dragging the younger boy towards him. You think you can screw around with people however much you want for your own amusement? You're not gonna mess with me, and you're gonna leave Noah the fuck alone. I'll teach you a lesson you won't forget, then maybe you'll figure out how to be a halfway decent person. What? Luka smirked. Kaine might have backed him into a corner, his fingers curled around his shirt, but Luka didn't look at all perturbed about this turn of events. Instead, he looked amused. Does he think I'm bluffing? That arrogant, cocky little shit. Your grades might be great, but I guess that really doesn't preclude you from being an idiot. Don't you realize the situation you're in? I'm the one holding all the cards here. I could ruin your friendship with your precious friend just like that if I wanted to. Do you want me to do that, Kaine? Do you not care if he hates you? The bell rang as Luka spoke, signaling the end of lunch hour, but Kaine hardly heard it. All the noise about him had faded into the background. He couldn't hear anything except Luka's taunts, which swirled inside his head and the thumping of his own heart. His breathing was harsh, jagged. This is how I fucking feel right now. I also cannot stand this boy. Oh my god. His shoulders, meanwhile, were shaking. He felt sick. Shut the fuck up. You really are making things interesting for me, Kaine. How fun. Shut the fuck up before I shut you up. Kaine swung back his fist, meaning to sink it into Luka's face when... Kaine? An exclamation made Kaine pause. He turned, feeling like a robber who'd been caught on a CCTV camera, and came face to face with the last person he wanted to see. Noah was there, standing at the foot of the stairs, only a few paces away from him. And, of course, wherever Noah went, August followed. Both boys looked at him, confusion written across their faces. They must have gotten a good look at Kaine, with his fist curled in Luka's shirt. Had they heard the conversation which had preceded this uncharacteristic bout of violence, however, the anger inside of me is making it harder to read. Oh god. Did they know what Luka and Kaine had been discussing? Shit. Kaine froze. The unpleasant squirming feeling in the pit of his stomach increased, as though he had just swallowed a bucket full of worms. Maybe I really am going to be sick. Well, then do it all over fucking Luka. This is the only time I'd be like, yeah, throw up. If Noah heard any of that, if he knows how I feel about him, then... Kaine did not voice any of these anxious thoughts, however. That would only serve to make him look guiltier. Instead, he took a fortifying breath. He counted to 3. Noah, August. Is everything okay? We're not interrupting something, are we? Kaine looked back at Luka. He was still gripping his collar, practically choking him. Shit, this doesn't look good. It's nothing, don't worry about it. Kaine's whole body had seized up after seeing Noah, his fingers included. It took a Herculean amount of energy to relinquish his grip on Luka, but he finally accomplished it. Kaine took a step back, breathing heavily, as though he'd just run a marathon. He couldn't recall ever feeling more on edge. Luka, meanwhile, didn't look any worse for wear after this one-sided tussle. He dusted a few specks of lint off his uniform, then pouted. You're such a meanie, Kaine. I just wanted to chat for a while. I can't believe you'd be so cruel. What did I ever do to you, huh? Shut the fuck up! I need to fucking count to 3 and breathe deeply. Tisk. Kaine clicked his tongue. You know full well what you did, you little... Now. August stepped forward, a conciliatory smile on his face. I'm sure this is just a misunderstanding. August, this is the one time I need you to shut up. I would bet that Kaine wasn't trying to hurt you or argue. He's incredibly kind. He sure wasn't acting very nice to me. He was being a total jerk. I was so scared. I didn't realize he was so nasty. Luka wiped a few tears from his eyes, then smiled. But you seem pretty nice, at least. My god. Hey. Are you August? Oh, yes I am. And you are? I'm Luka. I'm Noah's friend. And I guess I'm Kaine's enemy. Hee hee. It's nice to meet you. Hey, did you know? Shit. I don't know what that little shithead means to say, but it can't be anything good. I've got to get us away from here. Kaine turned his back on Luka, then took hold of both August and Noah by the arms. Yeah, use! He might have used a bit too much force. August gasped, but Kaine didn't care. It was imperative, all of a sudden, that he put as much distance between himself and Luka as possible. Aw, don't you want to stay and chat? Luka pouted. That's too bad. But I guess the bell did ring anyway, already. Haha. I wouldn't want you to be late for class, so I'll let it slide for now. Bye-bye, you three. Kaine didn't bother replying. He couldn't see the point. He continued to haul Noah and August along behind him, only stopping when he put enough distance between them. Shut up, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Oh, usewa. Yeah, okay. I was reading that as use. Not knowing that was supposed to be Japanese. Hey. Noah wrenched his arm free of Kaine's grasp at long last, then looked at him questioningly. What was that all about? It's nothing. It doesn't matter. Now that Luka is not on the screen, I can fucking breathe. Oh god. If Noah gets mad at us about that, I'm gonna be mad again. God. We can talk about it later. Or never. Let's just get to class first. Kaine had no intention, however, of ever revisiting this topic. The cold spike of fear he had felt in his chest when Luka had addressed August hadn't disappeared. His heart was hammering. Kaine had no idea what it was that Luka had wanted to tell August, but he doubted it was anything good. He didn't want to give in to Luka's cowardly, underhanded threats. But what choice did he have? If he didn't do what Luka wanted, he'd tell Noah about his feelings. I'm saying go to fucking Luka's mom and start spilling the beans. You know, to a point. That he's trying to extort you, that he's threatening you. Fucking go at him. Then everything Kaine had worked for would be ruined. Shit. Kaine sighed. As if my life wasn't difficult enough, or... Oh my god, Kaine. Kaine's spirits were desolate as he walked home from school. Luka's threats might not have been might not have had a physical presence, but they still weighed on him. Kaine's shoulders were sunken from the pressure of it, his footsteps slow and shambling. Can things get any worse than this? I'm having a real hard time imagining it. The trio walked on in silence until they reached the top of the mountain. See you guys later. Have a nice weekend, Kaine. Yeah, you too. Kaine turned away from them, heading towards his house. He got most of the way there, too, before he felt someone pull on his sleeve. Kaine? Is everything okay? Well, I know everything isn't okay, but do you want to talk about it? I'm fine. You don't have to worry about me. August put on a smile that said he most certainly did not buy this. You don't need to lie to me. I know a person who's struggling when I see one. You have a lot on your shoulders, don't you? I might not be able to lift that weight, but I can at least listen. You want to talk? Kaine nodded before he realized he was nodding. He gazed down at August, feeling oddly hopeless. He let August lead him partway back down the mountain and to the familiar riverside. Kinda kills me that this is August doing this and not our best friend Noah. Oh my god. Okay, Noah, didn't you notice your best friend Kaine fucking struggling? Why aren't we talking, Oh boy. He let August lead him partway back down the mountain and to the familiar riverside. August sat down first, then patted a patch of grass for Kaine to join him. You know, I think there's something about this river that brings people together. In what way? There's someone else I know who sits by this river looking just as lost as you do right now. I see him some nights. I don't think I've ever really been able to help him, but I do listen. I'm pretty good at listening. Maybe this river has a bit of magic in it that makes people more honest. Magic doesn't exist. Well, I don't know if I agree. I've seen some pretty magical things in this town. What's been weighing on you, Kaine? I feel like everything I've carefully built up is falling down around me. There's just too many things. Kaine trailed off, lifting his gaze from the calm surface of the water. Everywhere I turn, it feels like I'm being cornered. My family is falling apart, I'm having troubles with someone at school, and I feel like I'm losing Noah. I don't know if my friends would like the real me. Oh, Kaine. You've really had a tough time, haven't you? I just feel stupid complaining about it. There's loads of people out there who have it worse than me. You spent your life moving from place to place. Noah's family treats him awfully. And I'm just whining about things, or whining that things might fall apart. You're not stupid. Just because someone's lived through a hard life doesn't make yours any less valid. I'm sorry so much is hurting you right now. I wish there was something I could do about it, but I'm here for you. I'll always be here. Oh, God, August. You're such a sweetheart. Sobs. I'm just one message away if you need someone to listen. August. And I'll listen to every problem you have, no matter how small, even if you think it sounds stupid. Oddly enough, just reading August's dialogue is making me feel better. I feel comforted. Damn it, August. I never think you sound stupid. He really is a perfect person. It's no wonder Noah fell in love with him. I never could have competed with him. Oh, and there's my heart. Oh, God. Like my chest actually burns. Ugh. Legit heartache. Thanks, August. It means a lot. Wait, did you say you come out here at night sometimes? August glanced away from Kaine, his fingers toying with a blade of grass. Sometimes I can't sleep at night, and I decide to come down here. I like to sit out by the water. It helps me think. I know I shouldn't sneak out. It's not really like me at all. It kinda just happened once and I kept doing it. But I met someone who needed help, so maybe something was calling me here. You should be careful, you know? The mountainside is dark and I wouldn't want you to fall. And who knows who could be hanging around in the shadows? August smiled towards him. You always worry about everyone around you, don't you? I can't help it when my friends keep making poor decisions. August laughed at that, the sound light and cheery. I'll be careful, I promise. You should spend a little more of your energy caring about yourself, too. Wait. I don't know how August died. Don't tell me he's gonna die in this fucking river. Ugh. Anyway, we should get back before it gets too late, huh? August stood, offering a hand to Kaine. Wryly, Kaine glanced up at August's outstretched fingers, then took his hand. It was soft. Together they walked back up the mountain before splitting off where they reached their respective homes. Kaine felt a little better. He might not have told August much, but he had found he didn't need to. Simply talking about it all out loud, to somebody who wasn't involved, did wonders for his mood. That feeling didn't last. Oh no. The first thing Kaine noticed when he returned home was that his father's car was parked in the driveway. This was an unusual sight in and of itself, largely because Kaine's father rarely came home before 7 p.m. Even in the previous months, when he had been less overworked, it had been uncommon for Kaine's father to return home sooner than his son. What gives? Kaine was hit with a feeling of misapprehension as he eyed his father's car. Something unusual must have happened to bring him home so early. Oh no, is the divorce gonna happen like right now? What could that have been, though? Some sort of accident? Maybe he's sick. But no, my old man's a workaholic. He'd probably do overtime if he'd broken an arm. I got a cough. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm good. Besides, I don't think I've ever seen him sick before. He's too important to get ill. He isn't like us commoners. What could it be, then? Kaine had a sneaking suspicion that he knew exactly why his father had returned so early. But Kaine didn't want to tempt fate. I could always be wrong. At least, I hope I'm wrong. Kaine swallowed his anxiety as best he could. Then, he let himself into his home. Kaine's home had always been somber, more so during the last few months than ever before. The house was too big for their small family, and it seemed bigger still in the continued absence of Kaine's father. The sheer size of the rooms had, at times, threatened to dwarf Kaine. His parents' house did not feel like a home. It was so quiet and so immaculately tidy, it felt more like a crypt. The atmosphere was more tense now, however, than it usually was, and Kaine soon saw why. His father was there, after all, just as his parked car had suggested. He was sitting at the dining table opposite his mother, his fingers steepled together at his front. He lifted his head, however, when Kaine entered the room, and he nodded. "So, you're back. I was waiting for you. You're not going to say hello or ask me how my day was?" For a man who'd always lectured me about the importance of being polite, you're not being very polite yourself right about now. Maybe you should practice what you preach. Dad? Kaine greeted his father with a nod of his head in turn, trying to disregard, all the while, the anxiety which squirmed in the pit of his stomach. You're home early today. Did something happen? You could say that, yes. I received an interesting phone call from your mother earlier while I was at work, and I decided it needed addressing. I still have a lot of work to do, of course. Of course. You have to keep reminding us of how important you are, don't you? You can't help yourself. But I was able to move around my schedule to come back early today. Oh, well, whoop-de-fucking-do. Good for you. I thought I owed you as much, given, well, we are family. You sure as hell don't act like it. Wow, how very noble of you. Do you expect me to grovel at your feet and thank you for giving me the time of day, you fucker? It's not like I'm your only child or anything. This is a rather difficult subject, however. I have meant to broach it myself for quite some time, but I prefer not to upset the status quo around here. Or I preferred. But it might be fortunate that you did it for me, Kaine. So, Mom definitely talked to Dad like, hey, you fucking cheating on me? Kaine thinks you are. And now you guys are gonna put this on me? Oh my god. Dad? Kaine took a seat at the table. He tried to look unconcerned, but his legs had begun to shake. It almost felt as though they had turned into gelatin. What are you talking about? You ought to know. You're the one who told your mother about this, after all. Dear, Kaine's mother, who had been tight-lipped during this affair, looked at her husband with anguished eyes. Kaine's mother had always looked older than her years, but she looked worse than she had been that morning. Her eyes were rimmed with red, as though she had been crying, and the wrinkles about her mouth and under her eyes seemed to have deepened. Kaine was struck, then, as he observed his mother, with the sheer wrongness of the situation. What in the world happened? I think I can guess, but I so badly want to be wrong. Did I do the wrong thing? No. No, you didn't. If these fuckers put this on you, they're the ones who did wrong. You just brought something to light that should have been brought to light ages ago. Kaine was mistaken, wasn't he? He said he saw you with some woman, but that can't be true. She must have been a coworker. He was mistaken. Tell him this is all some big misunderstanding. For a few moments, silence reigned. Kaine's father inhaled deeply, as if trying to draw upon a strength which existed beyond his own body. Then he spoke. I am sorry. I don't know how Kaine found out about this, or when he saw us, but our son is rather perceptive. He is a credit to both of us, and he is not incorrect. Everything he told you, it's all true. Dear? Kaine's mother stared at her husband, her face pasty white with shock. What are you talking about? You weren't really seeing another woman, were you? You wouldn't. You would never do such a thing to me, surely. For a few moments, Kaine's father fell quiet. He looked at the tabletop, his expression pensive. Then, after a sizable pause, he spoke. This is a painful thing to admit, but Kaine is correct. He didn't lie or misunderstand what was going on. No, he can't be. He is. I know you might wish otherwise, but I can't keep hiding the truth from you, not after all this. I respect you too much for that. Right, you respect her. That's why you cheated on her to begin with. Uh-huh, sure. Fucking... people suck, man. People suck. Luka and Kaine's father can go choke on a fucking chode. Yeah, he respects her, huh? He sure has a funny way of showing it. I've been cheating on you for the last 6 months, ever since my last office Christmas party. I wasn't sure how to break the news to you, so I kept it to myself. I knew you would find out eventually, of course. This was only a temporary measure, but I never imagined Kaine would be the one to tell you. Evidently, I wasn't as discreet as I thought. You weren't being discreet at all. Kaine snorted, his arms folded. You were hooking up with your side piece at all hours while you were supposed to be at home with us. There was nothing subtle about it. Yes, you have a point. Kaine's father concurred quietly, his expression unchanging. He didn't raise his voice, and neither did he look particularly upset. His face was so blank, it could have been a mask. I was not very subtle, and neither did I treat the pair of you particularly well. You must have been wondering what I was doing, staying out for as many nights as I did. I'm sure that I caused you hardship. For that, I apologize. I ought to have told you what was happening a long time ago. Oh my god. What's like the anti-Father of the Year award? He gets it. Oh, I popped off a button on my keyboard. Hold on. It needs to point that way. Whoops. That way. There you go. Okay, we're good. Actually, just kind of hover it over quick save. Yeah. But now you have told your mother, Kaine, you spared me the hassle. Oh. It was weighing on my mind for a long time when I ought to confess and how best to go about it. But I do not need to do that now. Thank you, Kaine. You have been a big help. Are you kidding me? What? Kaine stared at his father, stunned into speechlessness. What the hell's wrong with you? Aren't you supposed to be a grown-ass man? You always used to preach to me when I was a kid about taking responsibility for my actions. Where the hell is your sense of responsibility gone now, huh? What sort of father forces his own kid into confessing that he's had an affair? You should have been the one to tell Mom this, not me. Cleaning up after your messes isn't my job. How could you? Thoughts raced through Kaine's head like a flood, but he was too stunned to put a voice to any of them. His father's cool, almost callous confession had robbed him of the ability to speak. It felt like Kaine's body had become untethered from reality. Nothing seemed to make sense. His whole world had tilted upside down. In less than 10 minutes, his perception of his father, which had never been the most positive, had shattered. What was he supposed to do now? Dear, oh god, dear, you can't be serious, can you? Please, tell me this is a joke. Kaine's mother, however, didn't seem to want to accept the truth. She looked at her husband imploringly, with the lost eyes of a child, hoping against hope that he would have something to say to soothe her. I'm sorry, but it wasn't to be. You should know that I'm not the sort of person to tell jokes, and I definitely wouldn't make light of a situation like this. Kaine is right. I've been lying to you for a long time. It's a poor way to repay you, I know, for the many years we've been together, and the happiness you've given me. But that's simply the way it is. I've already moved on. And for your own sake, I would advise you do the same. Father, I crave violence. I crave so much violence. That's going to be the name of this VOD. I crave violence. Against fictional characters. Nothing good could come of clinging to a man like me. No, wait, dear. Kaine's mother called after her husband, but to little avail. He had already gotten to his feet. He looked down at his wife, who remained sitting, 2 tear tracks staining her cheeks like snail trails. Her mascara was smudged down her face, black smudges caught in the creases beneath her eyes. Kaine's mother looked old beyond her years, but the smeared makeup made her look even older than she already was. She looked decrepit. Kaine's father observed her mutely, with something resembling pity in his face. before he turned his head. I'll be staying at a hotel tonight. I can't imagine you'll want to share a bed with me now, knowing what you do. It's still infuriating, but it's like less infuriating than Luka. You've come back in where Kaine's father is admitting to his mother that he had an affair. He's been cheating on her. And he kind of put it on Kaine, because Kaine's the one that very morning who told his mom, hey, I think Dad's cheating on you. And so I guess she confronted him about it, and when Kaine came home from school, this is what he walked in on. Mom and Dad sitting on the kitchen table, just kind of like silently staring at each other. And this fucker had the audacity to say, Kaine was right, and thanks to him, I'm able to finally tell you. While at the same time, he's always told Kaine, like, you need to take responsibility for your actions, be an adult, blah, blah, blah. When he can't fucking do that himself. Oh. Like, I'm not burning with rage, but I'm still like, this fucker. This fucker. And if you do, then I would ask you to respect yourself more. You deserve better. I don't care about having better, though. I only want you. I still love you. Well, this poor woman. Then you are even more of a fool than I thought. This... Yeah, why are parents always blaming us? Why is it our fault that they fight, that they don't love each other anymore, or what have you? And considering I remember Kaine saying that he had a strained and or estranged relationship with his mother in the future, aka the present, I'm pretty sure she's going to, like, blame him for this. Like, I'm feeling it in my bones. We can discuss what we'll do with the house later and with our finances once we've settled the divorce. Until then, I'll give you a bit more of time to adjust. I'll see you later. Kaine's father departed after this, the front door closing behind him with a thud. In his absence, the silence which filled the kitchen was suffocating. It filled Kaine up, stopping the flow of air into his lungs. He couldn't breathe. He had forgotten how. Oh God, oh God. For several moments, Kaine's mother simply sat there, her eyes wide with hurt and shock. I'm just saying, we never asked to be born, we never told you all to get together. Exactly. Exactly. Fucking exactly. And yeah, I'll read a bunch of manhwa where it's like, it's usually the dad who's like treats the kid like shit, or just full on like ignores them because they died, or their wife, aka the main character's mother, died during childbirth, and so all of a sudden it's the kid's fault that the mom died. You know, shit like that. Ugh. Ugh. But somehow we're always the problem. Exactly. I don't know how it's our fault, but somehow it's always our fault. She stared at the wall opposite her, her expression an intense, almost inhuman blank. Oh God. Before she began to cry. The tears which sluiced down his mother's cheeks were nothing like anything Kaine had seen before. They were desperate, each and every one accompanied by a pained gasp. Her chest rose up and down from the sheer exertion of crying, and her shoulders shook from it. Her body was trembling so much, she looked as though she might collapse beneath the weight of her own misery. Her head bowed as though it was too heavy for her body. Then she pressed her hands against her face. Kaine could no longer see his mother's pitiful tears, but he could still hear them. He did not think he would ever forget this sound, nor this sight. He had never seen his mother like this before, bent double like a woman simultaneously younger and older than she really was. She sobbed like a young child, but she wheezed like an old woman. Ooh. Oh, something about that description really got me. Oh man. In an instant, her whole world had fallen apart around her. And she too was falling apart. Mom? Kaine eyed her uneasily, unsure of what to do. Was there any way he could console her? It seemed unlikely that words could help when his mother's marriage had just dissolved, a marriage which had lasted for over 2 decades. But Kaine couldn't simply sit there watching her cry as though she was some sort of modern art installation. He had to say something. Mom, Shit, I don't know what to say, but Oh boy. Sure, everything will be alright? Dad might change his mind, you know? You've been together for a long time. I don't think he's that cold. He'll apologize in due course. He's gotta, after everything he did. And if he doesn't, and he really does go through with the divorce, then that means there wasn't anything great about him to begin with. I mean, that bastard cheated on you. He's been cheating on you for months. He isn't worth your tears. You know what he's really like now, so... Kaine. Kaine's mother let her hands fall from her face. She wiped her tears with the back of her arm and swallowed her remaining tears, though her shoulders still shook. She examined her son with narrowed eyes. Then, in a voice which was surprisingly cool and even, given the intensity of her early sobbing, she said, "Don't, please. Don't?" Kaine looked at his mother, bewilderment written on his face. "Don't what?" "Don't try to comfort me. I know you mean well, but your words, they're all hollow. You have no idea how much I love your father. You have no idea how much he means to me. So don't try to reassure me. There's nothing you can say which would make it better. In fact, I think you've said too much already." Yep, here it is. Mom? Yes, that's right. If only you'd kept your mouth shut, none of this would be happening. I fucking knew she was gonna pull this shit. I knew she was gonna pull this shit. God damn it. If you'd not told me about your father, then I do not know, or then I not know about any of this. I never would have confronted him. Kaine's mother grit her teeth together. Her face twisted, her features distorting until she looked almost monstrous. And he wouldn't have left me. We'd still be happy together, a loving, perfect family. That's not fucking true, not even a little bit. We could have had it all, or we could have had all of that. We did have all of that, but you ruined it. What? Kaine stared at his mother, his jaw slack. He was so stunned by this injustice, he didn't know how to vocalize it. He hardly even knew what to think about it. That's not fair. You're talking like this is all my fault, but I'm not the one who made Dad cheat on you. I didn't do anything wrong, I just... Enough! Kaine's mother cut across her son's retorts. Her voice was high-pitched and shrill. It sounded nothing like the kind, gentle voice Kaine knew from his childhood, the voice which had recited fairy tales to him at night to lull him off to sleep. It sounded nothing like the heartbroken woman from earlier either, who had been sobbing over her husband's infidelity. Her voice was full of hatred, but it was not hatred directed at her husband who had hurt her. Her husband was not there. Kaine's mother could not vent out her frustrations on him. So instead, she chose to do it on her son. Some people don't deserve to be parents. Not even a little bit. He was the only person who she could lash out at. He was the only person she could hurt. You say you didn't do anything wrong, but that's a child's excuse. He didn't do anything wrong. For fuck's sake. You aren't a child, are you, Kaine? You're almost 18 already. I know, but nothing. You're almost an adult, so you should take some responsibility for what you've done. All these people, all these fucking adults telling him to take responsibility when they're not taking responsibility for anything they're doing, not even a little bit. You've torn our family apart. No, I didn't. That wasn't what I wanted. I don't care what you wanted. It doesn't matter, not when you look at the result. Intentionally or not, you've ruined our family. If only you'd kept what you seem to yourself, we could have kept on just like we always did. I wish you hadn't told me. I would have been much, much happier not knowing. You've been so ungrateful. I'm gonna kill his mother. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Ungrateful? He was showing his gratitude by telling you the truth so you wouldn't have to keep being cheated on behind your back, but no. No, you gotta be a fucking bitch about this. Ah. That's right, you're ungrateful. I've worked my fingers to the bone for this family. I've cooked for you, and I've cleaned for you, and I've taken care of you for years and years. I've always put my happiness before yours, and this is how you repay me? You make me doubt the man I love more than anybody else, and you ruin my relationship? How could you, Kaine? How could you? I thought I raised you better than this. I thought that you loved me. Kaine's mother dissolved once again into a fit of tears. I'm about to whip somebody's arse. Yeah, well, I'm about to whip somebody's arse. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Everything you just said right there. Yep. Yep. Her upper body slumped forward, and she lifted her hands as if to support it. She pressed her palms against her face, her whole body quaking as she sobbed. She sobbed so loudly with each renewed vigor that Kaine shuddered. Actually, I think it was yesterday that it flagged the word arse. And I'm like, really? Arse? Are you kidding me, Automod? So I'm surprised you actually got away with that. Maybe because you added some extra ease. I said yesterday. Maybe it was earlier today. My sense of time is not great. What was he supposed to say? What was he supposed to do? He had half a mind to correct her, but Kaine knew that there was no point in that. That wouldn't make his mother feel any better. It wouldn't make him feel better either. Kaine wanted to argue with her, but more than that, he wanted to get away from her. He couldn't spend time with his mother anymore, not when she was like this. She had been hurt, and badly. Now, like a wounded animal, she wanted to lash out at anybody who was in her way. Logically, Kaine understood this. He knew his mother probably didn't mean the things she was saying. When she had recovered from the news of her husband's betrayal, and she had once again begun to think rationally, she would begin to regret everything she had said. But, until she apologized, Kaine could not spend another second in her company. It hurt too much. Wordlessly, Kaine rose to his feet. He wiped his own eyes with the back of his arm, which were beginning to feel damp. Then, he left. He abandoned his mother, who was slumped at the kitchen table, just as his father had before him. He wasn't proud of this, but what other choice did he have? There's nothing I could say that would cheer her up. I already tried, but it didn't work. It's not like I'm running away. I can't deal with this, and you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to. I don't care if you're almost 18 years old. You're still a child. It's not your job to deal with your parents' emotions. You're not their therapist. Fuck's sake. I can't deal with this. It really is too much. Aimlessly, Kaine wandered the streets with no real idea of where he was going. He wasn't sure if there was anywhere he could go. No matter what he did or where he went, he would be beset with the knowledge of everything which had happened in the kitchen earlier. Yeah, almost isn't good enough, not even close. My parents are divorcing. They're divorcing. Because of me. Not because of you. Not because of you, baby. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I know sometimes kids think that it's their fault because of divorce. But this is even worse because his mom has flat out, blamed it on him, and that's fucking bullshit. Oh my god. Oh my god. If I had not said anything, none of this would be happening. It would have happened eventually, I promise you. Maybe this really is my fault. No. No. Kaine meandered over to the local playground, which was empty. Listlessly, Kaine sat down on one of the swings, staring into nothingness. He still didn't know what he was going to do, but he knew he couldn't go back home. He couldn't bear to see his mother again after everything she had said. And I don't think she'll want to see me very much either. She's never looked at me like that before. It was almost like she hated me. Kaine didn't know how long he sat there, lost in contemplation, but the sun eventually began to set. The sky was dyed red, then pink, then orange. Then the sun disappeared. The moon appeared, half veiled beneath a layer of clouds. And with the appearance of the moon, there came the rain. It started off light at first, in dribs and drabs, but it eventually began to come down harder. Shit. Kaine cursed, then got to his feet. The swing creaked, and the rain continued to drum on his scalp, his shoulders. I can't keep staying here, but where can I go? I don't have any money on me. I can't stay at a hotel. I don't want to go back to August now. The only person I want to see is Noah. But what if he doesn't want to see me? He has August now. Oh my god. Oh, my heart aches. It aches. I'm gonna die live on stream, and it's gonna be because of Kaine. I don't want to intrude, but Kaine's head swirled with thoughts, but his feet began moving almost automatically. They led him away from the playground through the moonlit streets until he arrived at a house he knew well. Going this way took much more time than going up the mountain track, but Kaine wasn't stupid enough to want to try hiking up in the dark and the rain. That would be a recipe for disaster. He looked up at Noah's house. Kaine thought about knocking on the front door, but discarded that idea. He was still in his school uniform, and he was damp with rainwater. His shirt was sticking to him, and his hair was tousled. Noah's mother might have liked him, but Kaine doubted she would like him if he tracked rainwater all over the entrance hall. He could see her furrowed brow already in his mind's eye. Yeah, I'd rather avoid that. She's the last person I want to deal with right now. Kaine circled Noah's house, then came to a halt beneath his bedroom window. Once there, he bent, retrieving a small pebble from the garden and tossed them upwards. The pebbles drummed against Noah's window, one after the other. Can he hear me? It is raining pretty hard. Come on, Noah. Kaine shifted from foot to foot, his agitation building with every second that passed. He was beginning to worry whether Noah wasn't in his bedroom at all when... Kaine? Noah's curtains had been drawn back, and there was Noah, framed by the window. He looked down into his garden, which was steeped with shadows, and frowned. What are you doing out there? It's a long story. I was just wondering, Kaine glanced about him surreptitiously, afraid that Noah's parents, or worse, brother, might catch him in the act. Can I come in? Confusion flickered across Noah's face, but he didn't pry. Instead, he stood aside and said, Of course you can. Thanks. Kaine scrambled up the tree which grew near the side of the house, as he had many times when he'd been a small boy. Then he let himself in through the window, or the open window, apologizing as he did for scattering raindrops everywhere. I hope I haven't gotten the carpet too wet. It's fine. Do you think I care about the carpet right now? Maybe you won't, but your mom will. I can invent some sort of excuse. I'm going to guess you don't want her to know you came here since you didn't use the front door? You'd guess right. I'm not really in the mood to talk to anybody right now. Apart from me? You're special. Right. Oh, he's blushing. Oh, God. Noah glanced away, and was this his imagination, or was that a blush Kaine could see on Noah's face? My heart! Oh, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. No, surely not. Seriously, though, what happened? You look terrible. Well, thanks. Softly, Kaine laughed. I knew I could always rely on you to perk me up. Anytime. Can I stay here tonight, please? Kaine didn't like how desperate he sounded, but he couldn't help himself. He was desperate. If Noah said no, he had no idea where he would go. Kaine stared at Noah, despising his own intensity as he did. The seconds passed, each one more uncomfortable than the last, before Noah finally said, All right, of course you can stay here. Thanks. Relief flooded through Kaine's body, a relief so potent he could have collapsed from it. I'm guessing you don't want me to go out and get the spare mattress from my mom. No, don't tell anyone I'm here, please. Alright. Alright, sure. It's pretty late, so... I'll sleep on the floor. It's no problem. What? Don't be stupid. You can use my bed. Is that really alright? Why wouldn't it be? Does he really need to ask? Most people would refuse, seeing as I'm soaked through, but that's not even the most important part. Isn't he forgetting about somebody? Well, it's just, you know. You are dating somebody now. And? Noah frowned. That doesn't change anything between us. You're still my best friend. I'm sure August would understand. You don't think he's the jealous type? If he was, I wouldn't like him so much. Yeah, that's true. I guess that's why things would never work out between us. I'm nowhere near as forgiving as St. August. If only I could be that pure. Then, if you don't mind... Kaine stripped off his wet shirt, then crawled beneath the covers. Noah didn't join him, not immediately. He stood there for a few moments, by the bedside, his eyes boring into Kaine's back. Kaine winced, then drew his legs up beneath his chin, wound his arms around them. He had never wanted to disappear more in his life than he did at that moment. What the hell must Noah be thinking of me? I let myself into his house, through his window, late at night, without a word of explanation, and now I'm curled up in his bed, trying not to cry. That's pretty fucking pathetic. No, it's not. Kaine! Luka would have a field day if he could see me now. He'd have blackmail material for years. For real, this poor baby. Oh, this poor boy. My God. Kaine heard, above the sound of the rain, sheets shifting. Noah must have come to join him after all. For a few moments, neither boy spoke. Kaine was afraid if he attempted it, he would start crying. I looked stupid enough already without making things worse. He lay there, his eyes squeezed shut. Before, all of a sudden, he said, "Hey, Noah? Would you be my friend even if I was a bad person?" What? Kaine couldn't see Noah's face, not when he was turned away from him, but he could hear the confusion in his voice. You're not a bad person, Kaine. How do you know that? But even if you were, I'd still be your friend no matter what. Wow, he sure has a lot of faith in me. I wish I could have that much faith in myself. Kaine exhaled. Then, softly, he murmured, "Do you ever feel like you're completely alone in the world?" Sometimes, I guess. But we have each other, don't we? Okay. I don't think I'm gonna make this. Everything is not daijoubu. Do we? I thought we did, but that was before he showed up. Now you'd rather spend time with him, wouldn't you? And thinking that just makes me feel worse. I like August. He's so kind. He's my friend. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know what to do without you, Noah. Well, I'm not going anywhere. And hopefully, you're not either? Silence fell between them. It was a deep silence, broken by the sound of their mismatched breathing and the falling of the rain. Kaine let his arms drop from his legs, then turned. The sheets shifted about him, the resultant sound oddly dry, a little like leaves. He looked at Noah, who looked back at him. Noah's face was obscured by the shadows, but Kaine could see the furrow in his brow. He looked confused. No, concerned. Now, this is a change of pace. I thought I was supposed to be the mom friend. I guess being worried about every once in a while isn't so bad, though. Kaine? Is something going on? Kaine nipped his lower lip with his teeth. He wasn't sure how to respond to that. So much was going on, he was afraid. If he started, he would never stop. You don't have to tell me now, of course. I don't want to be pushy. But I am here for you, you know? I know. Thanks, Noah. Kaine drew in a breath. He turned the words over in his head. heavy, unwieldy words, each of them unbearable as the rain fell. It had been raining for a good half hour, but it had yet to abate. If anything, it was getting even stronger. Kaine thought he could hear the wind too, rattling the window panes, and... Was that thunder? It sounded like it was pretty tumultuous outside. How funny. When I was a kid, I used to be afraid of thunder. My mom always had to tuck me into bed and console me. Ugh. Way to just drive the knife in deeper, huh, Kaine? I'm much too old for that now, though. And I doubt my mother will be in the mood to console me much anymore. It was this thought that finally unstuck Kaine's throat. He parted his lips, which felt dry and cracked, and then confessed. My parents are getting divorced. What? Noah stared at him, his eyes wide, or his wide eyes as white as eggshells in the dark. I'm sorry, Kaine. I didn't realize. Neither did I. Not until today. It happened so suddenly. Just the other day, everything was... Well, it wasn't fine. My dad's been absent for ages, but my mother and I, we were getting along all right. We were okay. But my dad cheated on her, tossed her aside like she was nothing. Oh shit, that's fucked up. My mom was beside herself when she found out, but Dad... He didn't even try to make up excuses. He was so cold about it. It was kind of... I don't know. Unnerving. It was like he didn't care. My mom, meanwhile... Kaine took a deep breath. He shuddered. He wasn't sure if he could talk about his mother's tears, not without sobbing himself. Perhaps this was something he had to keep to himself. I think Mom will probably wind up keeping the house. Dad didn't sound interested in trying to fight a legal battle. He's wealthy enough. He probably doesn't need to worry about it. I wouldn't be surprised if he moved away. Right, I see. And what about you? Naturally, I'm going to stay here. I don't want to leave you. It's just... Kaine inhaled shakily. This whole thing's made me wonder. Is love really worth it? Does love even exist at all? Or are people just going through the motions, pretending love means something when it doesn't? I know my mom loved me. At least until I told her about my dad's affair. And she adored my dad. I don't think he adored her, though. Maybe he did once when they were younger. But that would have been a while ago. He already moved on, but my mom... She never did. At the end of the day, is that what love really is? Is it waiting for the person you care about most in the world to leave you behind? Noah fell silent as he processed these questions. His expression was a pensive one, his brow furrowed. Kaine wouldn't have blamed him if he had waved his queries aside. It was late at night, and this conversation was rather intense, but Noah didn't fail him. Noah never had. I think love can be messy, but if you find the right person, then it can be real. You can't give up something just because it might end one day. But what if it's already ended, and you're holding on to something that isn't there anymore? Kaine stared at Noah, desperation once again swelling up inside him. He wanted Noah to reassure him, to tell him that things hadn't ended between them. They would never end between them, but then maybe it's time to let go and move on. Hearing that from the one guy he has feelings for. Ugh, God. Kaine winced. Noah's words had hit him like a sledgehammer, and Noah, realizing this, hastened to console him. I'm really sorry about your mom and dad, but maybe they'll be happier this way? I'm not so sure about that. You didn't see the way my mother cried. I know I'm supposed to be the optimistic one, but just this once. I don't see how anything good can come of this. Kaine did not say this, however. Abject negativity would have been a poor way to repay Noah for letting him take refuge in his bedroom so late at night, especially when he was getting his sheets wet. Yeah, I know you're right. I'm sorry, I'm just scared, I guess. I'm scared of being alone. I'm scared that Luka was right, and you'll be disgusted if you find out how I feel about you. I'm scared that you'll abandon me. It's just, this happened, and then lots of other things happened too, and it feels like I'm being buried alive all on my own. I get that. But you're not on your own. I'll always be there. Always, huh? That's quite a big promise. I'll hold you to that, Noah. I hope so. Kaine's reply, when it finally came, was a sad, feeble thing. One which was so quiet it was hardly audible above the sound of the falling rain. Outside, beyond Noah's darkened window, the storm continued to rage and the thunder rumbled. Kaine turned his back on Noah, then squeezed his eyes tightly shut. He drew his legs back up against his chest, beneath his chin. Like a small child seeking shelter, he wound his arms around them. Then, he tried to will himself to fall asleep. He didn't want to be awake anymore, not when he felt so very awful. In that moment, being alive felt much too painful. It rained intermittently all night, in fits and bursts. Kaine slept a little during this downpour, curled up in bed beside Noah, but his sleep was uneasy, full of splintered dreams. It was still dark when Kaine woke up. He could no longer hear the thunder, but it was still raining, just barely. A light drizzle which doused the darkened streets with water. Whoops, I went back a little bit. Jeebus Heebus at 6 a.m. That's true. We've been going for 10 hours. It was still dark. Streets with water. Okay. Kaine sat up in bed. His head was aching, and he felt groggy. He rested a hand to his temple, which throbbed. Ha! How ironic. I've wanted to sleep beside Noah for years, and now I've finally gotten the chance. I can't even enjoy it. Hey! You leave stuff alone. Cat being a little shit, messing with stuff he's not supposed to mess with. Kaine smiled wryly, then glanced at Noah. Noah was an anxious, highly strung person, even at the best of times, but he looked surprisingly peaceful in slumber. He hadn't stirred at all, not even when the streets had shifted around him. His eyes were closed. Did I say streets? Hold on. Go to the bottom. Answered all, not even when the sheets had shifted around him. There we go. His eyes were closed, and his lashes matted, and his lips were pursed. Noah often looked on edge when he was awake, tense and twitchy, but a lot of his ever-present agitation had vanished in sleep. It was almost as if all of his worries had slipped from his shoulders in sleep, like a scarf unraveled after coming home from a bracing wintry walk. The rain, which continued to beat outdoors, could not reach Noah in his sleep. He was dead to the world. At least one of us looks happy. I'm glad he's sleeping so peacefully, but... Kaine surveyed him for a few moments, allowing himself a small smile, one which was half hidden by the shadows. His smile did not last, however. Nothing seemed to last in this world. Not recently. Kaine's parents were a prime example of that. Kaine wanted to stay longer, but he felt he had spent too much time with Noah already. He was becoming an imposition. It was funny, though. Kaine had never felt that way about Noah before. Now, however, he won't want me hanging around, not all night. It was nice of him to agree to letting me stay and listening to me ramble, but I'm sure he has other things he'd rather be doing. I bet he'd rather be with August. I can't blame him for it, really. August is fantastic. Kaine sighed. He remembered what Luka had said earlier that day in the hallway, and an uncomfortable coldness seized him. It felt like his intestines had been tied into a knot. Noah doesn't know how I feel about him. He thinks that we're just friends. He has no idea what thoughts run through my head when we're together. He has no idea how much I like him, or how long I've liked him. If I was more normal about this, there wouldn't be any issue with us spending time together, but Luka was right. He would be freaked out if he knew about this, especially now he's dating August. There's no way he'd want to share a bed with me if he knew the truth. I don't want to keep lying to him, not when he's been so good to me. I don't want to take advantage of his kindness. So I need to leave. All of a sudden, it seemed imperative that he get out of Noah's bedroom, away from his sleeping body as quickly as possible. I never should have come here. What was I thinking? Kaine rose from Noah's bed, animated by an anxious, nervous sort of energy. He pulled on his shoes, which he'd kicked off by the window, then reached for the latch. He unlocked it with his fingers moving deftly in the dark, illuminated by the moon's pale light. The large window opened easily, without any resistance. A cool breeze rushed forwards to meet Kaine, rumpling his hair. He stood by the windowsill for a few moments, torn, wanting to return to Noah's side, and knowing that he couldn't. He chanced a brief glance at Noah from behind his shoulder, saw how Noah slept soundly, obscured by the darkness. Then he departed. Kaine let himself out of the window with a cat-like stealth which was surprising given his build. He dropped down into the garden softly, the damp grass crunching beneath the soles of his sneakers. Then he headed off. Kaine wandered through the darkened streets, hands jammed into his pockets. The rain continued to fall around him, but he hardly felt it. It was only a light rain, more of a fine mist than anything else. The rain should stop soon, stop soon enough in time. A quick glance at his phone told Kaine it was 5:45 a.m. In 15 minutes, the sun would start to rise. A new day would dawn upon him, and the puddles of rainwater which scattered the streets would evaporate. In time, it would be as though this dreary, rainy night had never happened. But Kaine knew he would never forget about it. He would never forget this day. His parents' relationship had fallen right apart, and now he feared his own friendship with Noah would follow suit. What would he do if Luka told him how he felt? What would he do if Noah rejected him? Kaine didn't want to contemplate it. But contemplate it, he did. He couldn't help himself. He walked and he walked and he walked without any particular destination in mind. The rain continued to fall around him, drumming against the crown of his head, his back, his shoulders. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, everything sucks. As he walked, he couldn't help but wonder, where did things go so wrong? My life wasn't exactly perfect, sure, but it was pretty good. My dad's always been pretty absent, but my mom's always taken good care of me. I get good grades, I have a lot of friends, and my parents are wealthy. Compared to a lot of people out there, I've been living on easy mode. I've never had to worry about anything in particular. So why do I feel so shitty now? What changed? Kaine rolled this question around in his head as he walked, splashing droplets of water in his wake, but it was a rhetorical one. He already knew the answer. He knew exactly what had changed. He didn't want to contemplate it, feeling guilty for even considering it, but his life... it had altered some months prior when he had shown up. Before that, everything had been fine. No, it had been better than fine. It had been perfect. Until he met August Rivers. Kaine knew it was cruel, knew it was petty, knew deep down that August hadn't done anything wrong, knew that August was one of his dearest friends, and yet... I wish he'd never transferred into my school. I mean, again, you're still a kid. It's fair to have these kind of thoughts. I mean, as long as you don't, you know, act on anything and, like, actively blame August. Ugh, man, the corner of my mouth is, like, really dry. It feels, like, irritated. Ah. Anyway, yeah, you can have negative thoughts. Just as long as it doesn't affect how you treat August. Which I highly doubt it will. Because you're a good guy. I wish he never moved to this town. I wish... The rain continued to fall around Kaine, wetting his hair, his cheeks. I wish he'd just disappear. Oh no. Oh no. no, having those thoughts, and then August is really going to disappear. And you're going to blame yourself for it a little bit. At least a little bit. Oh, a solemn truth. Okay. I will save this right here. Now that we're at the beginning of a new chapter, fucking overwrite the one with Luka in it. God, get rid of that. And I'm going to call it a night here because, yeah, 10.5 hours? Oof. I need to get off my computer. I need to go touch some grass. After everything that this game put me through, yeah, it's time. It's time. So first of all, jump over to just chatting. Okay. And while I'm down here, I'm gonna open up Twitch in my browser. We both need some sleep for fucking sure. Am I gonna sleep for a few hours? Probably not. It's gonna take a while. But yeah, let me get the... let me see who's on. Oh, a Bicky's on. A Bicky Hickey. Is it his debut? Oh yeah, he's debuting his new model. Nice, nice. Might just do him. Yeah, okay. First, let me check my categories. Dreambound? Anybody? Oh, I'm the only person who apparently plays this game. 11 Deep Space? There's one person playing it. Oh, but it's a flesh tuber. Bewitching Sinners? No, that's not how you spell that. There we go. And no. Okay, so we're probably just gonna do Ibiki. So I'll go ahead and get that started. First, let me put the raid messages in chat. My god, cat. Stop tearing that fucking chair apart. Yeesh. Raid message. Pick yo poison. Alright, and I'll get that started. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for some spooks and then Tomb Raider after the spooks. Alright, love you, bye-bye. Mwah.